Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Ayesha Butalia. In today's session, we are going to talk about software quality assurance. We are under the subject software engineering and project management. And as per our SDLC life cycle, that is software development life cycle, we have requirement gathering, analysis, design, coding, testing. In long-term projects, maintenance is there. So in testing, generally people discuss about the quality testing. Okay, STQA, if you might have heard about, software testing and quality assurance. So STQA, so that means testing and quality goes hand in hand. Like in our previous lecture on testing, we had two things. First is to identify, okay, the errors, and then how to manage it. Even in coding, we first try to identify the bugs and we try to manage it, try to rectify it. Okay, instead of managing, we can say we rectify it. In risk management also, in our previous session, we talked about first we need to identify the risk. And as discussed earlier, that if we identify the risk, 60% of a problem is solved. Rest is how to find the solution is 40%. Similarly, when we are identifying a health issue of a person, okay, so बहुत बार लोग बोलते हैं कि हमें अच्छा डॉक्टर मिल गया, वी आर वेरी लकी, बिकॉज अच्छा डॉक्टर मिलने का मतलब ये है कि उसको रूट प्रॉब्लम पता चल गया आपके हेल्थ इश्यू का. क्योंकि अगर आपको रूट प्रॉब्लम पता चल गया तो देन सॉल्यूशन इज वेरी इजी. बट कई बार हमारी प्रॉब्लम डिटेक्ट ही नहीं होती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट नाउ आई माई सेल्फ आई एम गोइंग थ्रू अ स्लिप डिस्क प्रॉब्लम, बट एक्चुअली आई वॉज नॉट एबल टू वॉक सिंस 10 days and my left leg was swollen and I was not able to walk because there was a lot of pain in the left leg. I thought ki there's some problem in the left leg and a nerve of the left leg has been, there is some sprain probably. But when x-rays and MRI scans were done, I came to know that there is a slip disc. That means the spine has turned. So when the doctor touched at my back, several points, I found out that there was an acute pain on the left side, and that's why that nerve which was directly connected to the left leg was getting swollen. But till that date, I was not having any backache. That means I was not understanding only that the problem is in the back. I thought it was in the leg. So the doctor, when they pricked on certain points, and they didn't prick it on my leg, actually they pricked it on the spine. That means they were already aware that you cannot have any pain in the leg unless and until the root of that leg is there connected to the spine. So before doing the MRI scan only, the doctor detected the points which were damaged. And exactly the same thing came in the MRI scan also. Even I'm an aura reader. Before even scanning through machines, I detect through Reiki that, okay, these chakras are damaged. But then to cross verify, I always use scanners also and other modalities, because ultimately we are human beings. So if we may go wrong, and secondly, we always want certain proof to convince the other person that whatever we are saying has a scientific reason behind that. I hope I'm trying to connect you with the topic that in quality assurance also, first of all, you need to identify what are the quality measures for your particular project. Once you identify, you need to assess it. But if you find that there is an issue in the quality, you should be able to understand what's the root problem. Similarly, when you identify the risk, if you identify it properly, then only you will be able to understand. So here, basically identifying the problem from the root is in SDLC, the various phases which we have discussed in the SDLC, the requirement gathering, analysis, design, coding, and testing, we need to identify if the quality is not assured. Where things went wrong? Whether things went wrong in requirement gathering, or it went wrong in analysis, or it went wrong in design, or in coding, or even in testing. Because in testing also, quality testing, quality software testing, quality assurance, that was we were talking about, right? STQA. So quality testing and software testing and quality assurance. That means testing will come first, then comes the quality. So even in the testing phase, if you don't identify the test cases properly, okay, then the quality identification measuring attributes will also change. So again, you may have a blunder at the client side. So for test cases also, last time we discussed that you can create test cases on the number of classes in the class diagram. Now, if the test cases is wrong, maybe your class diagram is wrong. So you need to identify that, okay, in the design phase only, since my class diagram was not accurate, I faced the problem in testing. And obviously, if there is a problem in design, okay, there is requirement gathering, then there is analysis, then there is design, then there is coding / implementation, then there is testing, then there is quality assurance. Okay, this together is called STQA. Then you have maintenance for the long-term project. So if you have problem in the design and you need to change it, then probably this will also change, and then this will change. So you can't say that if there's a problem in this, you need to identify, you need to even only rectify this. You need to first, after identification, you found out that the root problem was here. So obviously, then this also need to be solved, and this need to be also solved. Then your test cases would be changed. Now, what you do this change and you do this change. But you know that coding is not a simple task. It may require months to change if your class diagram change. So another alternative is that you do testing after every phase. So there will be a testing after this. And of course, there will be a quality assurance also after this also. Maybe requirement gathering quality assurance is a bit difficult. You need to have a lot of experience for that. But you can always do testing and quality assurance after analysis is done. Then after design is done. Now see, once I share you the course material, everything is theoretical in that course material, and this becomes very easy if you just read the PPT line by line. But what we try to tell you in the lectures, which are not understood even if you go line by line through the PPTs, because these things are live work in industry, and you need to understand the concept. Otherwise, theoretically, this being a theoretical subject as a student side, because I always say that you can do design when you become a project manager maybe. And as I said you earlier, that in small scale industries, just designing may be done at a very earlier stage of your experience. But in big companies, okay, you need to have certain substantial experience to do that. So you need to understand the concepts which I'm teaching you. Otherwise, the PPT can be go through line by line to solve the theory paper. But if you understand the concept, then maybe even writing theory can be easy. Okay, and generally an evaluator who is a researcher will always expect this type of concepts clarification in your assessment while assessing, rather than the theoretical concepts in the PPT, because those things are quite theoretical to be mucked up as far as theory paper is concerned. So even you can do you actually should do testing and quality check after coding. What I'm trying to tell you is that after every phase, initially we just saw a waterfall model where we have testing at after the coding, but now we are remodulating that we will be having testing. This also we discussed in the testing session also, that we should have testing after every phase. Why? Because we need to identify the root problem early. So even quality, if you need to test, once you identify the test cases issues and its root causes, immediately you try to find out the quality measures and even try to rectify it there and there itself. Why I'm telling you this? Because once after completing the coding and you understand that your design is wrong, as we discussed the example of class diagram, then it becomes very, very difficult and frustrating for the entire team, okay, and even for the client to wait, because you have a specific time to deliver your product. So that is why, if suppose in every phase, okay, you require say 1 month, for example, okay, analysis requires 1 month, design requires 1 month, coding requires say 1 year. Actually, this is wrong, because never coding requires 60% of the entire life cycle. Okay, so we'll just calculate over here. Testing and quality assurance, say it requires 2 months. And of course, maintenance would be after the delivery, so that is not counted. So coding should be not more than 60%, okay, of the entire project life cycle. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is absolutely fine. So it is 50% extra than the other things, because see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 months for other things and 1 year for coding. So if suppose there is a problem we identified here in the test case, and we saw that there is a problem in the class diagram, if we change this class diagram, we will again require 1 year. For coding, no, maybe a particular module of classes. So maybe you may require minimum, okay, minimum I'm saying 2 months extra. Okay, but here also we may require minimum 15 days to modify the class diagram, etc. Okay, this I'm saying minimum. It can be maximum also. If they are interrelated, maybe 6 months. But if we try to give comparatively 5 days extra, or not 5 days, maybe 10 days extra each for T and quality assurance, okay, then this will be 10 days extra. This would be 10 days extra. This would be 10 days extra. Then probably this won't require more than 1 month. Now, why this 1 month is required? Because we already discussed about white box testing and black box testing. So this testing and quality assurance after every phase, this will be your white box testing. And this will be your black box testing, where the entire product now after ready would be tested. So if you're not able to recollect your white box and black box testing, please refer to your testing videos. Okay, I'll share this again in the description box as well. So here, after this 1 month, you are perfect with everything. Okay, maybe a minor changes, but here we have only considered no white box testing is carried out. So maybe this can go much more longer. So if problem is identified here, you can have 15 days over here also. If things go wrong, you can have 15 days here also. So if you calculate, if something goes wrong and you come to know here, how much time total you are requiring? Not 15 minutes, it is 15 days. So can you calculate how many total days will be required for this particular project? It is 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 months, 7 months, 8 months, 8.5. So 1 year, 8 months and 15 days. So total you will require here 1 year, 8 months and 15 days. And here how much it will require? 1, 2, 3, 4. This won't be required 2 months extra. If you are going to do so much of jugglery after every phase, that this can be 1 month maximum. Actually, it will be maximum. Your minimum is also not required, but it is minimum 2 months, which I said. So this also you have to consider that this is minimum. And your maximum you can require 4, 5, 6. So you have 1 year, 6 months. So you can imagine how much time you are saving by using this type of strategy instead of waterfall model. Okay, this is incremental model where after every increment, you're going to test and do the quality assurance, validation and assessment. So I hope this is clear to you. So coming back that, first of all, why quality is required? Because last time we also discussed that if suppose a college, we evaluate as per ISO, UGC, NAC, NBA. So the more the levels college and or institute crosses, we can say the more quality is being maintained in that particular college. If it's an NBA A grade, that means it is very much quality certified. If it is B plus grade, that it is less quality certified, and so on. So we all know that quality is very important. Even if you try to find out a product for purchasing, you need to you take feedback. Why you take feedback? Because people have tested, used, and give you feedback about the quality of the product. Okay, so that is important for any stakeholder. So what are the difference of software quality assurance? The standards, of course, like institute has ISO, UGC, NAC, NBA. Every company has different standards to follow. We have reviews and audits, testing, of course, error, defect collection and analysis. I always say that defect is something which is at the coder side. Error is something which is mistakes at the client side. So you need to collect and analyze that. That is again a part of quality assurance. Till now, you know, we have discussed a lot of times about defects and errors, but you didn't know that actually this is a part of quality assurance. Okay. The less number of errors, the more the quality of that particular product. You can note this point. Change management. Obviously, how much adaptable your product is to the change signifies its quality. The education means sometimes people just provide you the product, but they do not tell you, educate you how to use it. So that's a part of quality assurance. Vendor management, of course. Security management, security is also a part of quality assurance. Safety and risk management. So we have taken last session on risk management, but actually identifying risk is also a part of quality assurance. The less the number of limitations and risk in a particular project, okay, the higher the quality of that particular product. So these are the various standards. As I said, different companies having different standards. So IEEE is also one of the standard. Okay, ISO. So since being theoretical, I'll just give you the gist and the concept of this particular topic. So you can go through these slides. I'll share you. So whatever we discussed, this is through questionnaire. It has been explained. So finally, what are the goals? Of course, we are referring to the Pressman PPTs because software engineering project management, our syllabus is totally dedicated to the book by Pressman, and it is a very old PPTs, but still people are following because it is very comprehensively made you understand the theoretical software engineering and project management concepts. So going through the goals, requirement quality, design quality, code quality, and quality control effectiveness. So if you just note, these are all the phases of your SDLC. So obviously you need to collect information and of all the defects. Of course, find the causes of the defects because you have to find the root problem. Okay, so the more you find the root problem, the more easy you can even find a solution to it. So the measurement, how you measure a quality? By finding the causes of the defects. Okay. So software reliability, of course, reliability is also part of software assurance because the more the product or the project is reliable, the more quality is assured. As simple as that. So quality is proportional to reliability, or it is dependent on the reliability, you can say. So simple measure of reliability is mean time between failure, that is called as MTBF, where MTBF is equal to MTTF plus MTTR. So what is MTTR? It is mean time to failure and mean time to repair. So obviously कितना टाइम आपको फेलियर को डिटेक्ट करने को लगता है और कितना टाइम उसको रिपेयर करने को लगता है, ये दोनों का जो समेशन है, that is called mean time between failure. Okay, and that is the measure to assess reliability. Okay, so this is very simple calculation. Okay, but when you actually design and try to find out the MTTF and MTR, it's not very easy. That's why always project manager are expected to do all these calculations and not a fresher. Okay, so software availability, of course, for theoretical part, the formula goes as MTTF oblique MTTF plus MTR. So first you calculate MTTF plus MTR and then divide it by MTTF and then calculate the percentage by into 100. But what is software availability? It is the probability that a program is operating according to the requirements, okay, at a given point of time. For example, how do you assess the quality of a teacher? By its availability. Okay, is the teacher starting the lecture on time? Okay, is teacher available to you? Okay, is teacher available to solve your doubts? So this is how you assess the quality of a teacher also regarding the availability. So for us, we have created WhatsApp group because even we cannot be available all the time in the cabin because we have meetings. Then we have other responsibilities also. So we are not saying that we will not solve your doubts, we will not entertain you. but there can be a specific time limit to that. So you can be given a specific time when we are available. Nowadays, we are on WhatsApp, we are online. Things have changed. So we can be even interacting to you by WhatsApp anytime. Okay, even if we are attending a meeting and it's just a one line answer I need to reply, so I can do within the meeting also. So availability issues for a teacher. Similarly, there are availability issues for a software also. So things are changing as tools are changing. Okay, so there is a proper certification on STQA and a lot of good scope for STQAs. In fact, it's the highest paid job and least, what you can say, not highest paid, project managers are highest paid actually. It's a decent paid job actually, and less time you need to spend being even in IT industry, and a lot of scope abroad. So you can go through these different standards. As always mentioned, that ISO is one of the quality assurance criteria. So this was all about the software quality assurance. Obviously, in ISO also, what is 9001, then 2000. Like we have versions in your software also. For example, Microsoft version 1, 2, 3, Windows version 1, 2, 3, Microsoft Office 1, 2, 3. Similarly, your software call also have 1, 2, 3. That means अगर आपने आज एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया है, ठीक है, and it's a long term project, so you'll go into maintenance. Maybe after 6 months, you will have a more modified and an updated version of your software. So that's called version. So similarly, ISO में भी levels होता है. If you're 9001 at the starting phase, अगर कोई आपने कंपनी अभी फॉर्म करी है, immediately you can't go to the highest level. So initially you cross ISO 9001, then gradually you increase your ISO levels. Similarly, जब college शुरू होता है, now our college is new, so we can't go directly to NBA, because NBA के लिए at least you should have 5 years batch being passed out. For UGC, at least 2 years pass out student should be there. For NAC, at least 3 to 4 years pass out should be there. So obviously on the first year itself, college cannot apply for NBA. So gradually, then what can college do? First ISO, then UGC, AICT, okay, then NAC, then NBA, gradually. So the point to be noted is that there are various versions of quality assurance also. And you should gradually, but you should nevertheless upgrade your quality assurance criteria by the third party. What do you mean by third party? हम कभी भी अपने आप को कभी टेस्ट नहीं कर सकते. There's the other person who has to test it, right? Now, just one person judging us is also not wrong, right? So there has to be a team of experts to judge. So similarly, when a panel comes for UGC visit, for NAC, for NBA in colleges, or maybe for ISO visit in companies, they are expert teams and they are third party. So when you get a certificate and an approval from them, then you say that you are quality assured. Why? Because you get a stamping from the certified third party. Okay. So I think this is a short and a descriptive lecture on the software quality assurance. Although sound theoretical and very not important for a beginner, but you should know, if you are becoming an entrepreneur, you can go for ISO certification within 6 months only. And today I recommend that everybody should become an entrepreneur. Even if you are doing job, you should have some small scale, your own contribution where you are the director, you are your boss. You might be thinking that being a boss is very good. No, it comes with a lot of responsibilities, okay, on your shoulders. Because when you do a job, people are assigning you work, you're just doing it. Okay, people are guiding you, people are telling you do this. But when you become an entrepreneur, you are responsible from A to Z. So you learn a lot of things. So even if you are young students, you can, even while studying, become an entrepreneur. Some of my previous students, they were entrepreneur in third year level itself. And by the time they got graduated, their project model was ready to launch. What they were doing while being student, they were an entrepreneur on a very small scale. On a very small scale, they did in-house projects for the college. Whatever, if they were indulged in some product delivery, some they used to provide it to the students and the teachers. So charity starts from home. Similarly, even your business skills start from your campus and your loved ones, near and dear ones, your neighbors, your society. So I would recommend do something on your own. And even third year students, second year students can opt for entrepreneurship. Okay, so think about it, because you learn a lot of things and you have teachers in this phase. So they will also guide you. They will be happy to guide you, in fact. And they'll be happy to have a student, someone like you, who is interested to become an entrepreneur at such a young age. Because when you pass out, then you don't have mentors. Mentors are not easily available. So while you are studying, you have teachers as your mentors. You can take their guidance. So thank you very much for your patience listening. We'll stop here on this topic. This is Dr. Ayesha Butalia signing off. Have a nice day.